Hi guys, in this video review, we'll take a closer look at a game called Airman. I already posted a video of this game before, but this time we're going to take a look at this game in depth. Now this game calls Airman, but it's essentially a classic Pac-Man game for all intents and purposes, but instead of playing it on the screen like a standard game, you play it in augmented reality and you play as Pac-Man himself. Now just in case there's someone who doesn't know this game, so the goal is to hit all of those white squares and avoid intersecting with one of the three enemies there. If you intersect with them, it's game over. And there's also those white circles. Those white circles give you the option to hit the enemies if you intersect with them, but it's only available for a certain amount of time. So if you're already capturing, passing through it, make sure you're close to the enemy so you can eliminate it. But if you eliminate it, it only happens for a very short period of time, and then the enemy spawns again. Now, in this particular implementation of Pac-Man, you cannot intersect with the walls. I mean, of course you can because it's just virtual. But if you intersect with the wall, there's a health bar at the top, you see. So if you intersect with the wall, health is reduced, like you see here. So here you can see me just moving around, and as you can see, I need to look down, and the reason for this is because I need to see where I'm going. And if I look up, I just lose, my positioning relative to the borders, and I need to avoid them. So here I fail. That's what happens. I just look down instead of looking up, and then I just miss the enemies, and they eliminated me. And this is in fact one of the reasons that I have problem with this game and actually find this game quite annoying to play. But on the explanatory level, it's a very interesting game. Now the game was a bit jittery, but there's an option to reset the location of the game, so you can start at a specific location in the maze. And it works pretty well, so if you feel that the game loses a bit tracking, you can just press it and it recenters. So as I mentioned, one of the problems with this game is you need to look down in order to make sure that you are walking in the right path in the maze and not intersecting with the walls. So that's what I think. It would be better if the borders were actually, slimmer and the path was bigger. So it would be easier for you to just look up and move instead of just worrying about intersecting with the walls all the time. Now this time the game spawned a bit higher on the vertical level, but yeah, this is usually it's not the case. But even then, the game positioned above the ground, I think like about half a meter, something like this, well, maybe less. And still, I think it was better if it was on the ground itself. Then you can have a better, understanding of where you are located, and you can just look up instead of just looking down all the time. That's something that probably I would have liked to have an adjustment meter, something that I can just play with the height, so it can fit my height. But know that there's something cool about this game. So it's like playing a large scale, room scale, augmented reality game. And of course, you need to play it outdoors. Unless you have a very, very large space indoors, it's a game to play outside. The reason not to play it inside is because, you can't see many of the stuff around you and you might bump against something and fall down. So this is the type of game when you go to the park or a large area and play it there. For me, it also was very interesting to see how developers are tackling different types of arcade-style games, classic arcade-style games in augmented reality. And this was the reason why I was interested in trying out this game, and it turned out to be pretty unique. I also really like this part when you start the game. You can see the three enemies gazing at you, right at you, so the positioning was pretty cool. I really like it. Now, this is the average height that was usually I was playing at. It's a bit lower than this, something lower than the waist height. You still can't see the dots, and you have a good field of view, but still, when you walk, you need to see the area near your legs. Here I'm cheating, and look what I did. Here I just ran to the balls and just ran straight to the enemy without even caring about the health damage. I just ran, took the balls, and ate all the enemies. You see? I just ran and eat them. And look, the health bar is replenished when you eat an enemy. So this is just a way to play the game, another way to play the game. There's one caveat. The white circles don't respawn, so you don't get to like take them again and just rush over. It would be nice to have it because it was still hard even with this, but without this is very hard to finish this game. Here you can see me cheating again, just running to the ball, cheating, yeah, in quotations, running to the enemy, and then I'm very low on health as you can see, so I just stopped because I knew if I do it more it's gonna be game over. But look what happens. Hello there. Yeah, he came to me. He found me and he ate me. Oh, poor Pac-Man. Another thing that I wanted to see is other mazes, just this maze. So you have like several levels that you can do, maybe smaller ones, but it's just this one. There's another way to implement a different mechanic. So when, for example, you intersect with one of the walls, it just moves around you. Like you can, if you intersect with it, it just moves with you. So you always stay within. But this means that the maze will move with the player, and that doesn't really give a player a good gameplay experience in general. But as I said, if you are a developer and you're looking at this thing, it can probably spark some good ideas and make you think about different type of implementations, how to tackle this type of game. Here you can see the ball. Soon you're going to see the ball. I'm looking down. And this is the green ball I was talking about. This is the Pac-Man character. As you can see, if this ball intersects with the walls, whoo, this was close, you get hit, you see? So this is the ball. So this is why, if you want to be really precise, you need to look down, and then you can just rush it over and make sure that the ball stays within the boundaries and not touching the walls. To admit that I also really like the shadows that are reflecting on the ground. You actually can see the enemies moving on the wall near you if you look down. And it's really fun. Look at the design of the game, really beautiful. Now another way to implement this is having a Pac-Man character position in front of the player, so you can still see the character, which is nice. And when you walk forward, you just you control the movement and position of the character based on your movement. But again, the character is positioned in front of the user. Now by doing so, it's like you have a larger field of view, so you can actually see where the Pac-Man is located, and you won't need to look down. So this is one way I think to try to solve this issue that I had. So instead of the 3D camera position above the Pac-Man is actually in your position where the device is, it's actually positioned behind it. This is one of the reasons why I enjoy this game, because it's opened up my mind. I try to think about certain ideas, trying to solve different things that can make this game play better in augmented reality, but while still trying to maintain the same type of gameplay experience, but make things a bit different. Now, I'm very interested to hear what's your opinion, whether putting the difficulty on the navigation is something that you would have done with such a game, or maybe you have a different solution, something that can solve some of the issues that I mentioned here in this video review. I can tell you that after playing many Pac-Man games in my life, I can tell you that I really enjoy the classic game, because I always know where the enemies are, and when you have a maze, you can just maneuver and choose different routes in order to avoid getting the enemy, or planning a route to eat the circle first, and then knowing when the enemies are coming, so you know when to eat it in time. So here the problem is that it's very hard to create those tactical moves, because you most of the time your eyes are on the ground. Now before we finish this review, I take a look at the game. That's how it looks from the outside. It's really beautiful, right? Look at the shadows, beautiful shadows. The game looks really nice. I like the board. Yeah, this sometimes it just flicks up, and but you don't play like this. Yeah, usually it's on the ground. Looks beautiful. I'm just trying to go underneath, just to see how it looks. It's really cool, right? Just to give you a different angle to see how the game is designed, from different angles. Looks pretty cool. This is Airman. It's not a great game, as in terms of gameplay, but it's on the explanatory level. It's a very interesting game. And if you love Pac-Man, you're a fan of the game, I think you enjoy playing this one, or at least giving it a try. Try it outside and see how it goes for you. Now, this game was interesting enough for me to revisit it again and deliver in-depth review about it. I wanted also to talk about certain issues that I had, and related to specifically to how this game is implemented and developed in augmented reality, and see with you, find ways how it can be solved, how we can improve the gameplay experience overall. I definitely recommend trying it out. If you're a Pac-Man fan or just want to try out a large-scale AR game outside, or if you're a developer and you're thinking about game ideas and you like the idea of this type of game and you want to find some improvements and learn about how to design this type of large-scale AR games, I think this game can be really beneficial for you. I also didn't mention that this game can be vastly improved with animations and maybe voices for the ghosts and different levels, type of levels, and different design for the walls, and for these cubes, just instead of just white cube, make something more interesting, and maybe better sound effects and music. There's so many ways that this game can be improved. The reason why I like Airman so much is not because it's a great game, but because it's actually, as an AR enthusiast, made me make me think about things related to game development. And that's one of the reasons I was so happy that I came across it. And this is the exact reason why I think that developers will find this game to be very interesting. This is why I'm going to post about it on the my social media channels, and make sure that it reaches developers so they can see this game, and it might spark up some ideas. Maybe even for the current mixed reality games with headset like the Magic Leap one, people might think about different ideas after seeing a game like this. So this is it. This is the end of our review of Airman. I hope you enjoyed this review. And please don't forget to like and subscribe, and leave a comment below if you have anything to ask, or if you want to leave an opinion about this game. I would really like to hear what you guys think. Until then, thank you. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for following me and showing your support. And I see you on the next video. Have a great week. Bye bye.